Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Two Guys, Two Beers. I'm your host today, Phantom, and with my co-host today,
Max Q. Sorry, I was off on that one. How's it going?
Cannot complain. How are you doing today? How was your day in Georgia?
It was alright. Wasn't too warm, wasn't too cold.
Any news about the fire yet, or no news is good? But no news is the same as good news.
No news is good news. Apparently they're still going, but I mean, it still hasn't touched my house, and that's all I care about.
I mean, that's the crazy part. Like, as big as this stuff is, like, they never bring up these wildfires that's still going on and how we should stop putting them out. But hey, what do I know?
Of course not. They want to sidetrack you. They don't want you to know what's really going on in the world. They just want you to see what they want you to see. Welcome to the world of news.
Also, I like how this story about Joe Biden paying his workers from a charity fund without even doing any charities. You want to break it down?
So, a couple of years ago, Joe Biden's son had died. Well, one of his sons had died of cancer. And his family decided they were going to start a charity to help research cancer. Well, they had gotten his tax returns and stuff like that from his company or charity. And apparently, for like the first 2 years, from what they can see so far, what's been released, they literally gave no money to research, but they received $4 million. And what was it, 3.8 million of that was spent on their workers.
Salaries on their workers.
And for them to attend conferences and get cars and all kinds of stuff, but they didn't donate a single dollar to any sort of research, which to me is fucked up. Really fucked up, because I mean, I personally have experience with a lot of family members who, died of cancer and even other things, and we have plenty of charities throughout my family that we run and donate money to and all different kinds of stuff. And and for him to not do that, like, to me, this is like a slap in his face. Like, I feel like his son's rolling over in his grave saying, wow.
I just think it's dirty that he used his own son's death to try to pretty much use as a cash grab, because pretty much after his son died, that's when he started bringing up about this cancer resource and all that stuff, like he really cared. Because I have people who die from cancer, and like, they're still like a sensitive subject. But I mean, there's a lot of more subjects, like, hey, with all these people looking for cancer, and like, why don't we never have a cure yet? Or like, I hate when I look up stuff and it's like, it's a cure out there, it's just more profitable for people to take their cancer medicine than to actually get them a cure.
Well, I mean, that's like another thing too, but I mean, for me, like, when you think of how far, say for instance, like, they don't really need that many people to disperse money. So let's say $1 million worth of employee payouts for a year would probably still be a lot, but I'm just saying, like, for only needing people really to take in the money and to disperse it, and maybe a couple accountants, lawyers, whatever. So explain to me how you don't need that. Like, why do you need to spend $3.8 million on your staff? And, that's a lot of money. They could have done a lot of research for that kind of money.
Yeah. I mean, but to a certain extent, go back to the whole, we've spent billions of dollars of research. And to me, they should never just start the foundation, to me, because if they knew they wasn't going to never really look into it and just went in for cash, it's a whole bunch of different ways that you could use the charitable foundation to get money, a non-profit or something else, and nobody will really care. But I feel like the big story here is that pretty much he loses his dead son to get money, not to use for research. And in my eyes, I know Max is going to say different, but in my eyes, it just look like that 3.7 just got pocketed by all his workers and stuff.
I mean, it did get pocketed by his workers, but I mean, from what I understand, Joe Biden himself or his family didn't actually take any money. I don't know who actually works for his organization. That would be a whole other thing, but I doubt they would actually release those kind of records. I'm sure we could probably find them somewhere.
I mean, we could find them. It's just going to be 10 years down the road.
I'm sure, well, honestly, we could probably go on their company website and you could see, but like, say for instance, like his other son, who was on like multiple boards of multiple companies in multiple countries, what's to say that son technically didn't take money from that too?
Yeah.
I know that's just speculation, but I'm just saying, that could be one of the things that his son is making money from, which would be even more fucked up. It really would. Because, that's a really sensitive thing for me as well. And, for me to see that, like I said, even if, say, for instance, they didn't use it for research, that could have sponsored a lot of people who are, fighting, battling cancer, especially children whose families can't afford it.
Yeah, because all they had to do was just donate all their money to, hospitals, and they look a lot better than what they're looking like now.
Yeah, because like I said, $3.8 million, I'm sorry. There's no way you can justify that. I don't get it. I really don't. And for them to, I don't know, for me, I would be pissed. I'd be really pissed.
Well, my whole thing, I don't understand, is for all this big news outlets and everything to be talking about all the stupid stuff that Biden did do, that's not a bigger story than what it should be. Well, what it is. Because pretty much we had to find a story looking down the page.
Oh, of course. They want you to think Joe Biden's a saint.
I was talking about even Fox News. It wasn't really.
I know, but I'm just saying story. That's what they want you to think. They don't want you to realize it. It's just like Kamala Harris. They're not sitting there constantly replaying the first whenever they were actually trying to pick who the candidate would be for the thing. Whenever Kamala Harris was actually called him out for everything that he did, she was like, I'm one of those children that was on those buses whenever it was segregated, being bused into a white school. And she was like, you were one of the people that actually made it happen. She was like, you had done that to me. It wasn't anybody else. She was like, you're the main one that did it. And she called him out for multiple things. And I'm just like, and yet now she's as a vice president.
Like I said, I don't think Joe Biden gonna make it through 2 years of this presidency before she become president.
I know, my favorite meme is the one where he's in a wheelchair and she pushes him off a cliff.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Like I said, I just feel like in a two-year thing, she gonna become president, and then everything will go her way. And then she become the first black female president, or female. A lot of stuff could be first.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but
I'm just getting tired. Another thing I'm getting tired of is this is the first black blah blah blah, or this is the first woman blah blah blah. Why don't it just be hey, they won? I want to know how long until we can stop saying this is the first black this is the first white female this.
Well, that's never going to end until we do away with all these damn papers that are I brought it up before. I remember even whenever I first started kindergarten or first grade was one or the other, but the very first day a paper was what's your ethnicity? Are you white, black, Hispanic? And I'm just why do we have to label ourselves like this? We're all people. Okay, so what? They give out money because certain communities are black and certain communities are white. That's fucked up. Why doesn't everybody just get equal based on people, not based on skin color?
Well, that's a question that you gotta ask your fellow counterparts, because why did they redline us?
What are you talking about?
Make it so that we can't buy certain houses in certain areas.
I don't know. I've never noticed anything like that. You talking about whenever segregation was still around?
Well, segregation, and even it was even more recent, a 1990 case. That's what Donald Trump got sued for. Remember, Donald Trump and Donald Sterling got sued because they was making so that black people could never get buy into their housing complexes and stuff.
No, I didn't know about that. I need to look into it.
I'll show you the story, but remember the basketball? Well, you don't listen to basketball law, but Donald Sterling was sued in 1994, I believe, because pretty much he built a housing complex in California, and he wasn't allowing black people to. He allowed black people to work there, but you couldn't buy houses in that area.
Huh, that was crazy. No, I didn't know that. It doesn't honestly surprise me. There was recently one of the NFL players. He was black, and I want to say he was one of Miami's players, but he had I want to say he just signed on, and he went and bought himself a huge house. Typical thing that every famous person does. And whenever he went to move in, the security guards and stuff were whoa, you can't be in here, all because he's black.
Brandon Marshall.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I seen it. Brandon Marshall because, he just built a house. Well, he just bought a house in the Miami area, and if anybody know, Brandon Marshall made a lot of money while he was playing for the countless teams. You have the Miami Dolphins, Denver Broncos, Chicago Bears, New York Jets. It's a lot of teams. Seattle. It's a lot of teams. But he made a good amount of money. So he decided that, hey, I like this area. I like this area. I like the school district. I want to move here. I like the buildings. Literally, he didn't get his, I guess they have like a key, like a card type thing.
You're probably like a key fob.
Yeah. He didn't have his key fob, so he had to go through security front desk. And literally security was calling the police on him. Was like, hey, you don't belong here. Which is kind of ridiculous. Like, even if you don't belong here, I'm pretty sure, like, even if you don't belong here, it's like, hey, why don't you actually look it up instead of calling the police first? Like, literally, this man is, like, pretty much begging in front of everybody, like, hey, I live here. I bought the house here. And literally, they were like, we don't care. You don't belong here.
Yeah, no, it was messed up. I watched the whole video. I was just like, and he's over and he's like, do you guys not realize who I am? He's like, I'm literally a famous NFL player. He's like, you guys are making a huge mistake. And then even whenever the cops got there, if I remember, the cops were just like, you really don't realize who he is?
I mean, that's the crazy part. Like it's a lot of, once the community, we just got to keep growing as a community. I don't understand how this still go on in 2020. Well, even 2020, it's supposedly not going on. But like, look at the Brandon Marshall thing. This is literally, I want to say, a week ago, and he could have made it bigger news.
It was longer than that.
Well, I want to say a week or two ago.
No, it was like months ago.
No,
maybe it happened more than one player.
No, the play I was talking about, it happened last week, like 2 weeks ago.
Because I listened to another one who happened too.
I listened to his podcast, and he brought it up in a podcast that what happened and like how do like it make him feel, and like pretty much the same thing I'm saying. Like when it's enough gonna be enough, and we go past this.
Probably never. To be completely honest, most people can't get over half the shit.
So at that point, are we just better at waiting for like, hey, one of these old people gonna die?
It's not even just the old people. There's younger people too.
I feel like younger people is a lot more open minded to what's going on.
Yeah, there's still a lot of racism going on.
Oh, 100%.
And it's not even just that. I mean, there's a lot of people who, basically call out racism over everything too, and that doesn't help because, regardless, I'm not even just talking like black people, it's everyone that does it. So, to me, I mean, it's never going to get better, because if everybody cries that every single time something happens, then I feel like we're not going to get over it. Or, every time, say for instance, like they keep calling out everybody for, slavery. I mean, I get it. It happened and it's not right. But that was also a long time ago. Most of us really didn't have anything, like currently. Like, there's not that many people alive who probably have anything to do with that.
I mean, but the whole thing, when you say that, it's like degenerate. Until you acknowledge what happened and why we set back, we can't move forward.
Well, I mean, that's why I disagree with removing a lot of the monuments. Because, to me, I look at it as a way, I don't go there and be like, yeah, I love General Lee. And, that's not why I go there. I'm going there because, I want to realize what we did in the past. And I want to make sure that it's there forever for people to be like, okay, this is a mistake that we made.
So you want to put a monument of losers? We never put a monument of the use. This was pretty much people who put immunity against our country. And you okay with that? Because if that's the case, what you're saying is, Germany should be okay with putting up Hitler statues. Are you saying that?
Yeah, because, it's the only way you're not going to remember the past. I mean, that you will remember the past and try to not make that same mistake again.
Or how about everybody just learn from their past?